This is my 100 kilometer review of the Kugoo S1 Pro. I wanted to wait until I had at least 100 kilometers on it, so I really had a good feel for how the scooter operated on different road surfaces, different environments, and also since it was my first scooter, I really wanted to learn how to ride a scooter and get a feel for it before making a video. I purchased it for $324 from geekbuying.com. I ordered it on the 22nd, received it on the 29th, so very fast shipping. I'm going to go ahead and start with the stats and facts, get that out of the way in the beginning in case you're only here for that information. What you see on the screen now, all of the white and yellow is from the manufacturer's page, so I won't read it all out. Ones that I've highlighted in yellow, those are the ones that will vary based on the rider weight, temperature, how much battery charge you have and whatnot. And finally, here in the green shows my actual real world results with my weight at around 95 kilograms, 210 pounds. And later in the video, I'll go more into detail on the max speed, the hill climbing, max range, and braking distance. Next up is measurements. Here we have the deck width, the deck length, and here's what it looks like with a pair of my shoes on it. And here's how it looks with my height at 6 foot. And I measured the handlebar height from the deck because to me it doesn't make any sense to measure from the ground up. I like to know how high the handlebars are from where I'm going to be standing. So that's what the measurements that you see in this picture are. My range results were between 14 and 18 kilometers. 14 was on the colder days, and since it's been warmer, I'm pretty much getting and staying around the 18. But keep in mind, I'm always running the fastest mode. There's a lot of hills on my commute between my home and the gym and where I've been going. The hills are actually on the higher end of the limit of the scooter, and then with my weight on top of that. So overall, I'm really happy with the range I'm getting, and I'm sure that if I was just driving flat in town all the time, probably I would get over 20 kilometers. So in my case, worst case scenario of 14 kilometers, that's basically my range, which covers almost the entire metropolitan area of central Stockholm. So basically I can throw it in the bag, get on the subway, head to the central point in town, and then I have that entire circle to go around and explore, and when I run out of battery, hop back on the train and go home. For the hill climbing capabilities, I made a whole independent separate video, and I'll make sure I put the link down in the description. So if you really want to see a more detailed hill climb review to see my results, check for the link down below. For the P codes or program codes, I'm just going to touch on the ones I think are most important. I may do a whole separate video just on this section, but for now I'm just going to talk about the ones that I think need to be mentioned at this point. First is number 1. Setting 1 is the 0 start. It should by default be set to 0, but if you pull the accelerator lever and the wheel doesn't spin, check that setting, make sure it's on 0 so you don't have to kickstart it. Next, P setting number 2, default's 25. I set it to 0 because I didn't want a speed limit on it, so check that. It may or may not be set. Now codes 5, 6, and 7, that's where you can individually go in and set the percentage of the maximum speed that you want. What I've done is I've created mode 1 to be the highest legal limit, which is 20 kilometers, which my setting is about 66%. That way, if for some reason a cop messes with you, you just turn it off, and when you turn it back on, it will automatically go into mode 1. And when you lift it off the ground and spin the wheel, you can say, see, it only goes 20 kilometers per hour. That's what I did with there. And the other two, setting 2 and 3, I just made it 100 because that's where I always drive. Setting number 8, I would recommend turning off for newer riders. It really messed with me when I was first learning to ride a scooter, and it was actually worse for me to have it on, trying to brake and not having the scooter just slow down when I let go of the accelerator lever. And finally, setting number 22, I would recommend not messing with at all. It should be on by default, and that's the electronic brake. You really need that to stop. If you don't have it, you really can't stop the scooter in an emergency. So Safety tip, don't turn that off. Speaking of braking, here's the results. As you can see, you really need to use both brakes. It can make the difference between stopping before the intersection or being right out in the middle of it and getting hit. And if you're a new scooter rider like I was, I just had to practice over and over and over again because it was not intuitive to me to use the thumb brake and use my foot to stop the scooter. So practice maybe will save your life. Overall, the ride quality is about what you'd expect from a $300 scooter with solid tires. The honeycomb and the suspension does help out a lot, and I didn't find it irritating. I didn't have a bad experience at all with it. So, I mean, it is my first scooter, so for someone that may have ridden more comfortable, higher-end scooters, yeah, it's probably going to be a little rough for you. But for what it's designed for, just scooting around the city and mostly good roads, I think it was great. I've got two clips I'm going to show, and I'm not going to talk through them. One is with the GoPro mounted right next to the front wheel, which seems to be where most of the noise on the scooter generates from when you hit bumps. And then the other will be with the GoPro strapped to my chest, so you can kind of hear what it sounds like when you're a little higher up and further away. I think those are two pretty good examples of most of my riding. You do hear the bumps when you hit them, but overall, it's really not really annoying for me. One other thing I did want to mention, you have to be careful when you go over speed bumps. The way they've mounted the kickstand, it kind of sticks down, and if you're heavier like I am and you go over a speed bump, that will hit. Another small note is there's two different versions of the 2020. The earlier version came with little handlebars, side lights, and little turn signals that you hit with a button, but for some reason the manufacturer has removed them, probably because they broke a lot. The version I got did not have them, so that's how you know you're getting the newer version if they don't have the little blinkies at the end of the handlebars. The S1 Pro falls into the ultra portable class of electric scooters. It easily fits under a subway seat or between your legs standing upright on a bus. It's light enough to be carried up to probably 1 kilometer for most people and unfolds quickly at your destination. To fold the scooter, press the 2 buttons, pull the handlebars out, and then fold down. Next, release the stem lock clamp. Then press in on the buttons to collapse the stem. with the wheel against a wall or other object, push forward slightly on the handlebars and use your foot to release the lever. Fold the handlebars down and lock into place with the rear fender clamp. Overall, I'm really happy with the scooter as a heavier rider. Inexpensive, super portable, powerful enough to handle most of the non-extreme hills and road surfaces. It was fast and had sufficient range for light commuting, and slow enough to keep newer riders like myself from making overconfident, stupid mistakes. And since I had never owned a scooter before, I figured $300 was about the price I was willing to spend to test it out, see if I was really into scootering without making a larger investment. I mean, people are always tempted by the higher fast speeds, but I really wanted to see if scooters were for me. Knowing what I know now, would I buy it again? Yes, most definitely I would. And am I still going to use it? Yes, most definitely. It is so nice to be able to pop it in a bag, put it on a train, head downtown, and just kind of go explore the local sites without just speeding by them on a faster scooter. Overall, 2 thumbs up from me. Interested to see what your opinions, thoughts on this scooter are. Feel free to leave a comment below. This is the part of the video where most people ask for a subscribe and a like. I'm not going to ask for those. What I would like to ask for actually is, if you're going to hit that thumbs down, leave a comment and say, hey, I'm giving you a thumbs down because I don't like the way you look, I don't like your voice, I don't like your scooter, I don't like the colors in the video. That'll give me a better idea on how to improve these videos in the future. So don't worry, there's going to be no hate. Just be honest, say thumbs down because of this. I did receive my Speedway 5, but I kind of kept it on the side burner until I got this review cranked out. So look forward to seeing some videos on the Speedway 5, and of course more future videos on the Kugoo S1 Pro and the third scooter that I've ordered that I've yet to receive. And that pretty much wraps up my review of the Kugoo S1 Pro. Thanks for watching. I'll see you when I see you.